second. It's going live, not yet. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to day 19 of ICZ Ramadan program. We have Maulana Seyed Hadi Yassin in our programs until Ramadan 23rd. One quick announcement, we have Holy Quran quiz online for families this Friday, May 15 at 9 p.m. Please register. It's one registration per family and there are 3 prizes for top 3 winners. Before I invite Maulana, I request us to please recite Surah Fatiha and 3 times Surah Ikhlas for all Marumeen, including those for whom there is no one to recite Fatiha, your own Marumeens and those who sponsored for today's program. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I invite Maulana to start the program.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept inshallah all our amal, our dua, our morning, our ibadat inshallah. We ask him to give us the opportunity to be among the true followers of our Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib inshallah in dunya and be with them in akhirah with the loud salawat ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Our condolences on this ayam and these days and nights belong to Amir al-Mu'mineen, the shahadat of our beloved Imam, our first Imam, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. May Allah inshallah give us tawfiq to comprehend and get more of the knowledge about Amir al-Mu'mineen and the ma'rifat towards him inshallah. A few of the ahkam inshallah as we review together about the situations that the person needs to do the qaza of the Ramadan. One of them is the situation that someone, because he was drunk or she was drunk, they couldn't fast. So in this case, they have to do the qaza of those days, even though it might be because of some medical things that they became, drunk. It's different than being unconscious. Here is no, being drunk, is conscious but drunk. Doesn't matter what is the reason. Is it just alcohol or some medicine and stuff like that? They have to do the qada after Ramadan. The same if someone was Muslim, God forbid became kafir, and again they become Muslim. Those days that he or she was not Muslim, or she was not Muslim, and they left Islam and they came back, they have to do the qada of those days. That's different than someone who was not Muslim from the beginning. The same as we know those travel trips that someone was traveling, those days he didn't travel, didn't fast during the trips, they have to fast. And the last situation is, imagine someone was Ahlul Sunnah, brothers and sisters, and didn't fast according to the Ahlul Sunnah, Muslims, all our Muslims didn't fast, and then they become Shia because they didn't do the fasting of those days, they have to do it after that, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let us be, inshallah, more knowledgeable towards our ahkam, our iman, inshallah, with the barakah of salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Recite another salawat and send the thawab to Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. These days and nights belong to Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali salatu wassalam, the one who we wish and we try to make our lives, our lifestyle, get closer to the lifestyle of him, inshallah. The one who is the example and model for all human beings. The one who his life in this dunya, from all aspects, from the beginning to the end, was a great model for everyone. That's why we have a lot of non-Muslims, even brothers and sisters, who became in love, fall in love with the Amir al-Mu'mineen, with the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, with who he was. And they just got to know him through his lifestyle, through the history, through his saying and words and stuff like that. One of the aspects of the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, which is the most important aspect, is the aspect of his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The topic of ubudiyyah, servitude. The topic of how he was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what was this relationship that he had with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What was the base on that relationship? That it was full of happiness and joy for him. That the quantity and the quality of the ibadat of Amir al-Mu'mineen review, there should be an excitement, there should be joy and happiness in that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mentioned also a mu'min is the one who should enjoy the religiosity, should enjoy the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mu'min is the one who is not forced or dragged to do ahkam of Islam, to follow Islam. No, the one who enjoys to be Muslim and mu'min. And we mentioned one of the reasons that we might not get to that excitement and that topic is that because of our wrong ideas and perception towards this relationship and towards specifically the concept of sins and tawbah. We still struggle to understand what is the concept of sins and committing sins that is so important to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he put himself in between us and our own benefits, us and harming ourselves. We're talking about this and trying to comprehend this concept that why is so important, my benefit, why my benefit is so important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he himself comes in the middle and he talks about different ways, threatening, encouraging, you need to benefit yourself. That's why we said some people think the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made something wajib, he made something haram, it's just for his own happiness. And it has nothing to do with us, which is a wrong concept. No, it's indeed your benefit. It's indeed your harm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to inform you and us to do certain things or not to do certain things. Therefore, we mentioned the whole concept, last night we mentioned the whole concept of the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is based on this concept of ubudiyyah, following Allah, obeying Allah, obedience towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by that we should understand and learn the true meaning of sins that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in different ways is trying to teach us to get away from these things. We mentioned different examples. Al-haya khayrun kullu. Haya and chastity, all of it, all together, regardless of deen and religiosity, haya is good. Haya is something that is beneficial for you. Beautiful, another example, riwayah, manqul. من ترك الخمر لغير الله عز وجل سقاه الله من الرحيق المحتوم فيتركه لغير وجه الله نعم صيانة لنفسه. Hadith Manqul said that from Rasulullah, that he said, very interesting, the one who doesn't drink wine, alcohol, لغير الله عز وجل, not because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for the sake of Islam that says haram, no, the one who purposely says لغير الله, not for the Allah, for the sake of other reasons, not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah would give him and give him the tawfiq that this person would have the drink from the heavenly drinks. The one who in this dunya doesn't drink for the reason, not for the sake of Allah, Allah, the day of judgment, will give them the tawfiq for what? To have the drink from the drinks of heaven. Then the ashab and companion asked Rasulullah. Rasulullah says, لِغَيْرِ وَجْهِ اللَّهِ, for the sake of other reason than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah says, yes. Why? نعم صيانة لنفسه, because he protected himself. He kept himself safe. Subhanallah. Even لغير وجهه. Well, if he does it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will get the thawab of that as well. But if he doesn't do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at least siyanatan lifal, because he did it for the sake of protection, his own protection, will get the benefit of thawab of that. So we don't have the full understanding, and we don't believe 100% that sins are harmful to us. That's the whole concept here, brothers and sisters. And again, if I want to flash back, why we're talking about this, because Rasulullah said in the manqul from him, in Ramadan, the best amal is what? Al-warawan haram. You keep yourself away from haram of Allah. And why we're talking about this, because based on the riwayat and tradition, ayat of Quran, the most important concept that keeps being taught and keeps being, discussed in Quran and our supplications is the concept of sins and us repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the question comes again, that question they asked before, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he comes and he put himself between us and our relationship with sins, certain things that are haram, certain things that are wajib, if it's only beneficial to me. It's a very interesting topic when we pay attention, that we want to learn why that happens and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he consider our mistakes, those things that he said don't do them, he considered them as haram, as ma'asiyah, as isyan, and he says, I'm going to threaten you and I'm going to punish you if you hurt yourself. Let me give you an example. If you go, God forbid, someone had an accident, right? And the emergency comes, the doctor comes, take him to the ER. Imagine he's bleeding, his hand is broken, his back is having issue. Imagine he keeps going to the doctors, says, doctors, please forgive me. Doctors, please forgive me. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have driven this way. The doctor would laugh and say, why are you asking me to forgive you? You harmed yourself. We said sins is harming ourselves, right? Ghaibah is harming ourselves. Not praying is harming ourselves. Lying is harming ourselves. Any other sins, backbiting is not paying khums and zakat, harming ourselves. So if that person goes to the doctor and says, please forgive me, please forgive me. The doctor says, why are you asking me to forgive you? You harm yourself. Then why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes here and says, no, you need to come to me and apologize to me and repent to me because you harmed yourself. Critical thinking, right? You have to understand these things. Why? Because the base of the relationship between insan and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is based on what? Based on this concept of servitude. The concept of I obey your orders. That's the whole concept. We're going to talk about it. There's nothing else beside this. The relationship of insan and Allah, it is nothing beside you order and I follow. Nothing. So then why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put himself in between? Let me give you an example. The same guy who had an accident, I told you, right? If he goes to the ER and the doctor is there, what if the doctor is his mother? What if the doctor is his father? The one who loves him the most? Then you say, I understand why you're apologizing. Now I understand why you keep saying, doctors, please forgive me. I shouldn't have driven this way. Because of the level of the love of the doctor towards him. Because how much the doctor loves this servant who had an accident. There's nothing else. That Allah, he put himself in between. There's no other interpretation that beside or tafsir, beside we say it's because Allah loves this person. Nothing else. Whatever you think about it says, okay, so what can be the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put himself, and it says, follow me. And if you don't do it, you're going to make me upset. And if you don't do it, the only thing comes to mind is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loves his servants so much. That's why he's expecting bad servants to do good to themselves. But there should be some reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loves us so much. Let me give you some examples. The first reason is that because our own understanding of our own benefits are so limited. We don't understand what is good for us, what is bad for us initially. Yes, we don't understand. Don't think that we're so modern, we're so progress, so enforced. We don't still understand that CDC is saying, should we have masks or not? 3 weeks ago, they were saying, no mask, you don't need it. Right now, they're saying, oh, you need to have a mask, right? Okay, 20 seconds, should I wash my hands for the sake of COVID-19 or more than that? Some reports are saying more, some reports say that's too. We still don't know what's good for us, what is not good for us. Should I eat that? No, we don't know yet. Should I get away from that? We're not sure. Oh, we thought you're the most progress doctors and physicians and human beings, all of us, not just them. In the whole world, we thought we're living in the most modern country in the world, so we should know everything, and we're so sanitized all the time, even sanitizers in our offices and our schools. What happened? What happened? Because you're so weak, because you have no clue what is good for you, what is not good for you. There's a medicine on the shelves, and the doctors tell you, oh, you think it's good for you, not to attack the doctors all the time. They said, take it, good, it was for you. 3 years after, that says, oh, it causes cancer, brother. Sorry about that. Oh, I thought this is good for me. No, that causes cancer. You shouldn't take it anymore. Because 100 people were killed. We don't even know what's good for us, what is not good for us. A little baby doesn't know what is good for him, what is bad for him. The mother and the father should be there to say, do not touch that. If you touch it, I'm not going to take you to the park. Go study, because you don't understand. If you do not study, tomorrow you're going to be homeless and you're going to harm yourself with that. So I need to push you. I need to encourage you. I need to threaten you because I love you so much, because you don't get it yourself. You don't get it. Did you get the first reason? Yeah. Because you don't know your own benefits. There's a maqul hadith narrated from Imam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Let me put it this way. If you didn't feel you're hungry, would you eat? No. You were so busy with working, you were so busy with shopping, you were so here and there, school, everything, playing game, like the kids, right? You wouldn't even remember that you have to eat. And you were harming yourself, you were hurting yourself, right? The hadith says if you didn't have this pain of the belly and stomach, you wouldn't eat until you will die. This pain comes because of the acids and everything in the belly and the stomach. So it tells you, hey, you need to eat. You don't even know what is. That's number one. It's not that as soon as it says do something is good for you, oh yeah, definitely I'm going to do it. No. So therefore, number one is that we don't even know what is good for us, what is not good for us. Second, what are we talking about? Those people who join us now. We're talking about why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he put himself in the middle of this relationship. And he make himself the one who encourages us or to force us, anyhow you want to interpret it, to do good, to get away from haram and sins. And we said it's only because of the level of love and passion that he has towards us. That's it. He loves us so much. Why? Because we don't understand our own benefits. And he created us, by the way, and he owns us. You can't say it has nothing to do with you. Excuse me? I created you. You know how much it costs a game. So you right now, you're 15 years old or 30 years old or 90 years old. The older, the more difficult and more costly, right? More expensive. You know how much the sun and the moon and the earth and the rain and the water, we used it for the sake of you to be at this age. No, you belong to me. I don't let you do whatever you want and go wherever you want. I have responsibility towards you. I'm Rab, Murabbi, your trainer, your Lord. Second, The second reason is that we do not see our long-term benefits. We tend to see what is in front of us. We tend to see what is good for me right now. No, what is good for me 10 years from now, 100 years from now. No, we don't understand that. Is it good? Yeah. Sell it. I sell it today, tomorrow. Oh my God, next week it becomes, 2 times more expensive than what I sold. I don't understand what is good for me in the long term. I don't see my benefit in that long term. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to come and tell me, hey, this is beneficial to you. If you do it, you're going to reach that level of salvation if you do these things. Make sure you get away from these things, because the doctor sometimes says, in a long term, it's going to hurt you. If you keep eating this way, this habit of style of eating that you have, in 20 years, you're going to have, you're going to be diabetic. In 20 years, you're going to have kidney stone, something like that. If someone says, 20 years old says, so youth, the younger one, something, don't eat too much chips. The doctor says, let's enjoy it. Seeing the benefit, the long term. Allah should come and says, no, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to harm yourself. There's still some people that diabetes, just still eat sugar. They don't prevent from those things that are not good for them, right? Third, because of the love Allah has towards us and He wants to benefit us, all of us, we have the feelings, the inner nature and fitrah that tells us you have to worship someone. All of us. Quran says as well. Every single human being is created with this need towards worshiping someone. If you remember at ICZ, we talked about it a little bit before. The concept of we need to worship something or someone. That's why the prophets didn't come to tell us you need to worship. No, the prophets came to teach us what you should worship, who you should worship, and how you should worship. They didn't want to tell us to worship because they had people who are worshiping idols, worshiping cows, worshiping animals, worshiping this, the sun and the moon. They didn't come to say worship. They said, no, you shouldn't worship these things. You should worship who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran says even the atheists don't believe in Allah when they are in the, in the ship and it's sinking. Ya Allah, they're looking for supernatural power to come and help them, support them. And as soon as they get to the dry land, they forget about it. Quran says, right? So it's not about it. So when we talk about this, so when we have this need and niyaz inside ourselves, Allah would use that to benefit us. Allah says, now that you have this need and niyaz, I'm going to tell you that for the sake of me that you need to worship me, you have to get away from certain things that hurt you. For the sake of love of me. Don't do those things. They're harmful. I don't want you to practice those things. They're not good for you. SubhanAllah. Those people who are crazy about the celebrities, singers, so-and-so, actors, actresses, because they want to worship someone. They don't feel that they can worship the one who is worthy of worshiping. They should find someone who at night goes home and, use drugs and cannot sleep at night just because they're on the stage. They're somehow doing something. They have to worship that person. Allah says, no, now that you worship me, now that you have this feeling and you have to follow, and I need to tell you what is good for you, what is not good for you. And says, if you don't do it, I'm going to be upset. I want you to, so you benefit yourself. The lowest level of that, like I said, it's your mom. Mom, if you don't benefit yourself, she's going to be upset with you. She's not going to talk to you 2 days. Remember? She didn't talk to you for 2 days because you didn't do something that was good for you. So she can teach you to benefit yourself later. This is the lowest love. How much your mom loves you compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who gave that love to your mother? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same mother, Quran says, Surah Hajj, when the Qiyamah, the day of judgment, let me bring the actually ayah of Quran, so we go together. Recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Very interesting. يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. The day you will see it, every suckling female will forget that which she suckles. They leave their own baby. And every female having pregnancy shall abort her fetus, the baby. It is an example, by the way, of the haras, of the fear, of the tars of that day. How scary the qiyamah for those people. And you will see people as if they are drunk. Well, they are not drunk, but Allah's torment is severe. So, Ya Allah, is the day qiyamah that people, the same mother that had a lot of love, who leaves the baby, runs to find a shelter for herself. No one is pregnant, no one is giving milk or birth to someone at that work, right? It's an example. The fear is, if that fear comes to this earth, people in the hospitals, they leave their babies and go to find something. Sometimes you might see, for example, no, still in the earth is different. Still, if the earthquake comes, the mother would like to grab the baby and then run, right? Protect the baby more than herself. But because of the hole and haras and the fear of that day, of course, for those who don't have enough iman, they run away from it, right? So who gave the love to mothers? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, now that you want to worship, because of me, don't do that. There's a meaning. Now I understand, Maulana, that the concept of sins and haram and committing sins and getting away from sins, why they are so important. That in the riwayat, in our traditions, this concept keeps being repeated and repeated. In our supplication, keeps being repeated and repeated. Amir al-Mu'mineen, in the khutbah of Nahj al-Balagha, different ways, in their supplications, Dua Kumail, here and there, they keep talking about, Ya Allah, forgive me, Ya Allah, forgive me. That's why it's so strange. Because it looks like it's a very important concept. It's a very important topic that I have to pay attention to, right? So when I look at it, I see that this is actually the reason. It's very interesting. This is actually the reason that people rejected the prophets. What do I mean? Okay. So we said that people were already worshiping, right? They were already worshiping idols, cows, the stars, the sun, the moon. Okay. Ibrahim comes and tell them, do not worship these things, worship something else. Okay. So if it's about worshiping, so, okay, not this, something else. So we wouldn't reject Ibrahim for the sake of just telling us worship something else. No, because we already worship something. So what is about the message of Ibrahim that they reject Ibrahim and they put Ibrahim into the fire? Have you thought about this? First time, maybe I'm bringing this from this angle. I'm lengthening it, so think about it. So it's not about I am telling you to worship Allah. I'm telling you to worship someone, so that's why you don't like to worship. No, we are already worshiping. We're worshiping idols. Look at the butkhane. There are 1,000 buts. The big one, the small ones, the idols, right? So it's not that you're telling us to worship. We actually love to worship. That's why we're worshiping our idols. There's something else about you telling us to worship something that bothers us, that we don't like it. What is it? The key, the point is here, brothers and sisters. Because if I worship that God that you're talking about, he's going to tell me do it and don't do it. Take it, don't take it. I have issue with this. My idols, my bot doesn't tell me anything. So that's why I love it. I still quench that desire that I have to worship, right? I still love that thing that tells me to worship because I need to worship. It's like a vitamin. It's like niyaz. But it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me to worship, to do anything. halal and haram and gunah and sins and ma'asiyah and no, nothing. But your God is going to come and tell me this is gunah, this is sins, don't do it. I have issue with this, so I have to reject you so your God doesn't tell me. Allah, there's not fight over existence of Allah. There's no fight over there's one God, worship one God. Allah is not because they found a reason not to worship Allah, or they found there's no God, because they want to dodge their responsibility, nail in the coffin, exactly the same reason. Because they know if they accept it, now they have to eat halal, they can eat everywhere, 5 times salat, and then 30 days of fasting, and then they have to go to khums and zakat and so forth. Allah, I'm going to say there's no God, free, mashallah. Not knowing that, sweetheart, it's equal that you are putting your back at your benefits. It's not first about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. It's about Allah says those things that are beneficial to you and to yourself. I still didn't get that, Maulana. You have to give me more example. Okay. Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, salawat. Do you agree? I'm sure all of you, older one or younger ones, you heard this in your Sunday school or in the manabir or khutbah or everything. That Rasulullah, what was his title before Islam? Was Muhammad Amin, right? Amin was what? Trustworthy. He was trustworthy. Everybody trusted him. True? All right. People loved him because he was trustworthy, right? Yes. People were making him in charge of their business. True? Yes. People believe that he's the best among them because he's Muhammad Amin. No one else is Amin, right? Yes. Everybody believed him. He's a very good person, right? Yes. Then why you don't accept him, you reject him when he says, I'm the prophet of this guy? You're Amin, you're trustworthy. We know you don't lie. You never lied at all. 40 years, brothers and sisters, he was living in the society among those Arabs and they saw he's the best among them. And he doesn't lie. They know he doesn't lie. They know he's the prophet. Truly, he's the prophet. Then what's wrong with not accepting him? Because he's going to tell us we have to pray 5 times. Because he's going to tell us this is haram. Don't look at that. Lower your gaze. So no, we're not going to accept it. The whole fight here is about this topic of sins. The topic of do it, don't do it. Obedience. That's what we have issue with. The one who doesn't, and if I want to go deeper, the one who doesn't take the Rasulullah's orders and Allah's orders is the one who doesn't want to benefit himself or herself. That's on the other side of this equation. So if someone comes to you, or one of you, or someone you heard says, I'm not that religious, sometimes I practice, sometimes I mean, or that part of Islam I practice, the other part of Islam I don't have to practice. I mean, yeah, it's too much Maulana. We're not Maulana. We're just, What do you mean? So you mean Maulanas or scholars or Urafa or Anbiya, they want to benefit yourself, that you don't want to benefit yourself? No, I don't want to benefit myself that much. If I go to that restaurant, it's very delicious food, Maulana. It's too much of delicious food. No, what do you mean? I don't get that. I honestly, I seriously don't get that. Did you get that? This? Maulana, if I invest in that bank, they're gonna give me 40% interest. I mean, give me 40%, right? More because I invested in that. It's too much, Maulana. I don't want. What do you mean? Doesn't make sense. If it's halal, everything is fine. You don't want to benefit yourself? No, it's too much. It's equal to I'm too religious. I'm not that religious. It's too much. I'm not a scholar. If you want to put it this way, then the scholars or Rafa or Ma'id, they are very super smart because they are thinking about themselves and their own benefits. Matter of fact, the moment is very selfish from a good part, positive part, because he or she thinks about their own benefits. Yeah. And you don't even care about yourself. Why? Because you don't want to benefit yourself. So if someone doesn't follow Allah, doesn't follow Rasulullah, doesn't follow Islam, it's not that they have issue with Allah. It's not that they might not even know themselves what's wrong with them. It's not the reason that, oh, we have issue with the Prophet. No, who would reject the personality of the Prophet of Islam? You go behind the mountains, right? Who never ever heard anything about Islam, anything about good people, right? Let's put it this way, one of the residents of a forest, a jungle, somewhere in the middle of the Amazon, right? Never seen human being in his life. You go to them, says, by the way, there is someone by the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He is amazing with these characteristics. He loves others. He helped others. He was doing this way. He never lied. Tell them about the characteristics of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Then you will see that person who says, I love this person. I just love this person. Whoever he is, I don't know what this is, deen, or I don't even care the deen of this person. I love this person. As if George Jordan, who is Christian, he write down a book, series of books about Amir al-Mu'mineen, al-Ali Sawt al-Idalat al-Insaniyah. About the Amir al-Mu'mineen, someone who's not even Muslim, let alone being Shia. What is the reason here? Because whoever hears about the characteristic of Amir al-Mu'mineen will fall in love with Amir. We have to talk about Imam Ali these things. And I mentioned my respected brothers and sisters, Ahlul Sunnah, our scholars, when they keep talking about Amir al-Mu'mineen, mashallah, with the full benefits and amazing rawayat and traditions from Rasulullah in their own books about Amir al-Mu'mineen. I just don't know if you know all these good things about Amir al-Mu'mineen. It doesn't come to think about it. Who was he? What was his path? What was he telling us to do? What was his children telling us to do? What was the right path here to do? Someone sent me a the video clip a few days ago about one of the, mashallah, greatest, Ahlul Sunnah, scholars in one of the countries. He was keep talking about Ahlul Bayt, mashallah. Ahlul Bayt are this way, Ahlul Bayt are this way. It's from Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari. May Allah bless him. Beautiful riwayat, amazing riwayat. We all agree with that, enjoying it, all these things, right? But whenever he was talking about Amir al-Mu'mineen Ahlul Bayt, he was saying, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. At the end, it says, if you knew all these good things about Ahlul Bayt, why you're dropping, why you are not saying wa alihi wa sallam? What makes you to be so stingy? You're saying that Rasulullah says, my all, my Ahlul Bayt, my Ahlul Bayt, my Ahlul Bayt. Now when you want to say salawat, you say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm not talking about those people, Wahhabis, that they don't believe in Ahlul Bayt. No, I'm talking about those people who believe in Ahlul Bayt, like this brother, mashallah, this scholar, who talk great about Ahlul Bayt. May Allah bless him, inshallah, be with Ahlul Bayt. Why you are even skipping this part? Critical thinking, understanding these things. So the problem was what? The problem was not about who they were, or Rasulullah, we have issue with him or his personality. No one found anything wrong with Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. A'udhu billah. They said, oh, we're going to kill Hussein. He said, Imam Hussein himself in Karbala, he said, did I do anything wrong? Did I make any halal haram, any haram halal? Did I hurt any one of you guys? Did I do anything wrong? Na'udhu billah. Imam Hussein should put himself so down, talk to those, savage, unrighteous people this way to prove his own benefits. He says, did I do anything? No. Why are you killing me? Oh, they answer from the other side, because we didn't like your father. What happened? Because the father, what happened with father? Your father is the just, mutlaq just, absolute just. And he defends absolute justice. We don't like it. Why? Because Talha and Zubair, go to history. Talha and Zubair, what happened to them? Talha and Zubair, they love Amir al-Mu'mineen. At night, they came to help Amir al-Mu'mineen. When Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali, became the Imam, what happened? They knew that at that moment, he's not going to give them for the Tama'. They were greedy to be the governor of Basra and Kufa. When they realized there's nothing to be given to them, now I'm going to be against Amir al-Mu'mineen. No benefit. بغضا لأبيك. Because your father just see Allah's satisfaction in everything he's going to do. Because your father, when he's going to work in his personal affairs and talk to Talhan Zubair with his personal conversation, he turned off the candle that belongs to Baytul Mal, belongs to everyone, and turn on the other candle that belongs to himself from his own money. Talhan Zubair asked Ammar Yasir, tell me why Ali did this, why he turned off this candle. That is, Ammar says, this candle belongs to Baytul Mal, subhanAllah, and that candle is his own money, from his own money. He doesn't want to waste Baytul Mal talking to you guys for personal affairs, subhanAllah. Who would not love this Ali? Who would not love this Ali? Everyone loves this person. So what's wrong with not following him? Because he's the absolute justice on the earth. Because he put the iron, the heated one, the hot one, bring it close to the hands of his brother Aqil. He says, Ali, you're asking me to give you some more money? You cannot tolerate the heat of this piece of iron here. How do you expect me to tolerate the fire of the Jahannam and hell? I'm not going to do it. That's the reason. They couldn't do this with Rasulullah. Why? Because he's the Sahib Sharia. If they do it, then of course. SubhanAllah. And what they did to this Ali. How much they hurt this Ali. How much they bothered this Ali. Since Rasulullah was alive, some of the wives of Rasulullah next to Rasulullah says, do not do this. Don't be jealous towards Ali. Don't be jealous towards my wife Khadija. Don't be jealous towards Zahra. I'm talking about peace, just history, pure history. From everybody's, any Muslim's books you can find this history. Why you're jealous towards him? Since he was alive, Rasulullah, they started animosity towards Amir al-Mu'mineen. Why? It's clear. It's not the fault of Amir al-Mu'mineen. It's not the fault of Rasulullah. It's the same story of Yaqub and sons of Yaqub and Yusuf. Because Yusuf is Yusuf, they are jealous. SubhanAllah. Because Yusuf is Yusuf, they're jealous and they want to get rid of him. Because Ali is Ali and he has the attention of Allah and Rasulullah, they're jealous. There's some people, they don't like you because you're mu'min. Yourself, you might have seen them. Some of your family members may even not having a good relationship with you because you're mu'min, you go to masjid, you pray. Because in that party, first you went to pray, they didn't like it, and then accuse you with hypocrisy and everything. They want you not to be mu'min, like themselves. Quran says, remember I recited the ayah, Nasara, Ahl Kitab, they are having jealousy towards you. They don't want you to be mu'min. They want to be like them. And they won't be satisfied with you unless and until you become like them. And Ali, who is this Ali? No one recognized him. Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, the only ones who know who I am, myself, Rasulullah, is Allah and you. SubhanAllah. And the only one knows you with your true ma'rifah and knowing you is me and Allah. No one else. Brothers and sisters, tonight, yesterday, tomorrow, and these nights and days, we're sitting in the majlis of Mawlai Khan. You call him Mawlai Khan now, right? The true Mawlai Khan. Truly Mawlai Khan. Who should be Mawlai Khan if Ali is not Mawlai? Everything is under his. And what they did to this Ali, to this Mawla, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Medina. Let's go to House of Zahra Salamullah alayha. Let's see what they did to this Ali. Ali was good to everyone. Ali was supportive, helping everyone. It was not fair and just what they did to justice, according to justice, what they did to Ali. When that came, Mal'un behind the door. If you do not open this door, I'm going to set this house with its residents on fire. They told him, you know that Zahra is in this house. You know that Zahra is in this house. I'm going to burn them all. What was the reason? Because of the dunya. You wanted to hurt bad'atun minni, the part of the life and the part of the body of Rasulullah. Zahra, you wanted to hurt her because of what? Everyone agreed that he said that. The difference is that some people says he did it, some people says he didn't. Even if he said that, why did you say that you wanted to hurt and purge Zahra for the sake of bay'ah, over the life, over this dunya? You know how Ali is sensitive to his daughter Zahra, to his wife Zahra. Why did you guys do that? They started hurting Ali by hurting Zahra behind the door and the wall. Subhanallah, they hurt Ali. They hurt Ali by having Zahra in the alleys of Medina. After her husband, leave my husband Ali, leave my cousin alone. They heard Amir al-Mu'minin at that time. Now go to Kufa. Sometimes like tonight, after the night of Zarba, Amir al-Mu'minin on his deathbed, Ya Allah, Tabib comes and take a look at the head of the father of Imam Hassan. He said, who is the oldest son? Come with me. On the other side of the house, maybe he said to Imam Hassan, Ya Hassan, I don't think your father would become better anymore. This strike and Zarma was very deep and it was poisoned. Go get ready for the marasim of funeral and the service for your father. Ya Allah. Imagine the heart of Imam Hassan at that moment. They said Aitam Kufa, the yatim and orphans of Kufa, who every night they were used to Ali come to their houses. When they saw and they heard, they know that guy, that man, that Allah that comes every night, he didn't come tonight. Then they realized who was he, because he was covering his face. Each of them, they came behind the house of Amir al-Mu'minin, behind the door of the house of Ali. They said, we heard the Tabib and the physician said that milk is good for Ali. We brought milk for our Baba Ali. Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'minin. السلام عليك يا يعصوب الدين السلام عليك يا علي بن أبي طالب يا أبا الحسن يا حجة الله على خلقه Ya Sayyidina Mawlana, with hajat, inshallah, any hajat you have. Inna tawajjahna wastashfa'na wa tawassalna bika ila Allah وقدمناك بين يديك حاجاتنا. It's a time of azan, istijabat dua, inshallah, all together out loud. Ya wajihat inda Allah اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون ألا لعنة الله عليهم أجمعين. اللهم لأن قتلت أمير المؤمنين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. Time of استجابة الدعاء أذان المغرب of 20th of 19th of Ramadan. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. 10 times recite name of Allah. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. Ya Ali بحق Ali, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. For the sake of Amir al-Mu'minin tonight, Ya Allah, hasten the dhuhr of our Imam, Imam Mahdi. Give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of our Imams. Ya Allah, give us the love and the muhabbat of Amir al-Mu'minin every day more than the day before to our hearts. Do not let anyone from our generation be against the path and the muhabbat of Amir al-Mu'mineen ila yawm al-Qiyamah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. This nights of Qadr, nights of Amal, Ya Allah, give the best of the Eid, the best of Amal, the best of gifts and reward to the Mu'mineen, the true Mu'mineen. You give to all of us. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Those who have hajat and requests, give them all their hajat. Those who are under difficulties and problems, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, those who are sick, cure them all at this moment. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gatherings, our amal, our marasim to their soul, inshallah. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Maulana, for the wonderful speech. Just a quick announcement today, we have Urdu Majlis starting at 9:15. And then following after that, Soza Salam, 9:15, 9:30, we'll have Maulana Adil, and then Noha program at 10:15 sharp. In addition to that, we are going to have Holy Quran quiz online for families this Friday, May 15 at 9 p.m. Please register. One registration per family, and there are 3 prizes for top 3 winners. This concludes our program. Thank you.